Thanks to some people, Santa's naughty list grows bigger every year. So much so that I like to think he has some imaginative ways of erasing those names. So I came up with a fun little challenge run for this. Can I beat Hitman 1 and 2 as Santa Claus? Why just the first two and not the third one? Well, the final mission of Hitman 3 doesn't allow you to change suits. So unfortunately, I can only do the first two games. And I will only be playing the missions that came with the games on release. I won't be playing any DLC. Here are the rules for the run. I'm allowed to use any method to eliminate my targets, but because Santa is famous for being stealthy, I have to complete every mission with a rating of Silent Assassin suit only. Let's get started. First on the list is Viktor Novikov and Dalia Margolis. Why are they on the naughty list? Well, he's a Tory and she's a spy. Both crimes in their own right. So that means I'm headed to Paris for a fashion show. But that's no problem, as Santa was invited. Of course he was. Look at him. This holly jolly son of a gun has more fashion sense than any of these stick figures combined. The first thing I do is follow Victor, and he ends up feeling sick because of some bad eggnog I left in my briefcase. So I drown him in his own vomit. And without my reindeer, I'm forced to scale the side of the building to get to Dahlia. I sneak my way into her office bathroom, take out her guards by distracting them and choking them out. Then after pissing about waiting for her to finish her meeting, I stab her in the neck with a pair of scissors, which was quite the close shave. Dump her skinny ass in a wardrobe, and since a sleigh wasn't available, I snuck downstairs and stole a helicopter, which nets me Silent Assassin number 1. Now I have to take out Silvio Caruso for being a mama's boy, and Francesca DeSantis for developing a virus that could take out mankind. One of these things is not like the other, but the list doesn't discriminate on the severity of the deed. And after checking it twice, I make my way down to the morgue and have a nice nap while pretending to be a corpse for 3 minutes. I knock out one of the lab techs to steal her dongle, which will come in handy later. First though, I have to take out Silvio, so I grab the explosive golf ball from my flat, make my way through his estate unseen, knock out some of his guards, and Francesca's bum buddy, delicately place the golf ball in the basket, and make my way to a nice vantage point to watch the shit hit the fan.
Oh look, there he goes, flying through the sky.
Then I head to Francesca's bedroom, put one of her guards to sleep, call her up pretending to be her boyfriend, place a coin down as bait, then wait for her to arrive. When she does, I rearrange her spine with some bullets, chuck her into a wicker basket, and make my way to the lab to destroy the virus. We can't have a mass pandemic ruin Christmas, can we? I bop a guard over the head with a crowbar, use the dongle I picked up earlier to destroy the virus, then escape in the plane. With Silent Assassin number 2 out the way, my next targets are Razor Zaydan and Klaus Stramberg, a war criminal and a financial embezzler. So I'm off to Marrakesh. First, I'm going to take out Razor. Now the common strategy for this is to wake up this waiter and poison the food he's going to deliver to him and wait for him to drop like a fly. But I thought he needed a more personal touch. So I poisoned his food with emetic poison, got into his office unseen, waited until he ate the poisoned food, then shot him in the face. I could have shot him before, but I wanted the last thing he felt to be pure discomfort. Then I make my way to Klaus. When I get to the car park, I knock out some guards, steal a keycard, then make my way upstairs. I spent a while following Klaus around to try and figure out how to deal with him. Ultimately, I decided that he needed to be knocked off his high horse. Literally. So I waited for him to walk onto this balcony, threw a coin to distract the guard below, pushed him off the edge, then made my way to an exit. And Silent Assassin number 3 is complete. The next two devious douchebags on the list are Jordan Cross, a wannabe rock star whose alcohol of choice seems to be Stella, and Ken Morgan, a shitbag lawyer. So I head to Thailand to take care of them. First thing I do is poison this food, and after Ken takes a hearty sample, he goes into the bathroom for a tactical chunder. I give his guard some hand-to-hand anesthetic, Ken receives the deadliest swirly he's ever had, then I have to do a bunch of work to kill Jordan, because I don't want to have another hi-bye see you later situation like Ken. Jordan deserves a cold, calculated kill. So after receiving a very strange proposition,
What, Mr. Claus, can I sit on your lap?
and climbing a pipe to get into his studio, I have a right hard time trying to get the wheels in motion for the kill. First I have to knock out Dexy Barrett to get the key to her safe, which took me ages as I had to figure out how to isolate her. Eventually, after knocking out a few guards, I play some power chords on this guitar, and finally lure Dexy into this room with a wrench, knock her out, steal her shit, then I have to grab the tape from her safe, and play it in Jordan's room. I sit there and wait for him, and when he arrives, he starts blubbering like a baby. But I can't be arsed to listen to that shit, so I just shoot him. Once he's gone and his body's hidden, I backtrack the way I came, leave on a boat, and Silent Assassin number 4 is in the bag. Next on the list is Sean Rose, Penelope Graves, Ezra Berg, and Maya Pavati. And they're on the list for one simple reason. They're just straight up dickheads. Which means It's Colorado time. Now, I know it's a stereotype at this point, but if there was a census on people who hate this level, I'd be on it. Like the other levels, I have completed its Silent Assassin suit only before, but I always do it the same way. When I start, I immediately pick the lock to this door, take out this guard, hide his body, and wait for Ezra. When he emerges from the basement, I shoot him in the spine, hide his body, and head to the water tower. After knocking out the guards on the roof, I climbed the tower, and had to wait around for ages for Maya to finish her meeting with Sean Rose, which was the last straw for me. So I dropped some hay on her. I'm sorry, that joke was terrible. I should have bailed on it. Then I make my way to the main house and head into the basement. I give a guard brain damage after throwing my briefcase at him, then mess with Sean's clock to piss him off, and waited around for a ridiculously long time for him to arrive. When he does, I sneak up to his bathroom, but he comes through the door as I enter, and in a panic I shoot him in the face. I quickly drag him inside, then get rid of the guard in his bedroom. After this, I spend a considerable amount of time knocking out everyone on the top floor and dragging all their unconscious bodies into the bedroom. Why did I do this? Well, I want to leave through the basement exit. And to do this easily, I need to take Sean Rose's body down there to scan his face. Once I manage to do this without being spotted, I knock out one of the hackers in the server room and shoot Penelope in the temple from the doorway. Then drag her downstairs, scan Sean's face, and swiftly make my escape. With Silent Assassin number 5 done and dusted, my next targets are Eric Sodas, an ICA agent who procured a black market heart for his surgery, and Yuki Yamazaki, a dickhead lawyer that has a severe attitude problem. And to take them out, we're heading to Japan. After waking up from getting a nice 8 hours of kip, I head straight to the garden, climb down a pipe, enter a bedroom, pick up this detonator, and make my way to the morgue. When I arrive, I use the detonator to pump a shit ton of acid into this surgeon's brain, which causes him to start tripping out. Then when he goes into the room where the heart is, I follow him in, knock him out, hide his body, then throw the heart in the bin. My plan for taking out Yuki is a simple yet satisfying one. I head to my suite, climb into Dexter's one, and pick up a pack of cigarettes. Then I use the same method to get into Yuki's suite, sneak into the bathroom, and use the toilet to distract and knock out the guards in the living room. Then I take out the 2 guards on the balcony by giving one a serious cavity and strangling his mate. Then after hiding them, I place the cigarettes and play the waiting game. Then when she arrives, I push her into the misty void below, then escape on the tram. And with the final Silent Assassin in the first campaign under my belt, for the start of the Hitman 2 campaign I had to eliminate Alma Reynard, and the game doesn't have a picture of her, so here's a picture of Nanny McPhee. And she's on the naughty list for a lot of things. Extortion, blackmail, kidnapping, murder. Those things are bad, but the real kicker is the fact that she made me waste my time scouring the internet for a picture that looks exactly like the pictures I used before. Bloody cow. So I'm off to New Zealand. After arriving, I enter the panic room and grab the password dongle, then provide Alma with a deadly choice. I poison some honey with lethal poison, and some sugar with emetic poison. So either way she's going to die, but one is going to be a lot more horrific to go through. After using the computer, she arrives on the scene, and for some bizarre reason, whilst watching her from this balcony, 2 guards walk right behind me, but can't see me. They are either really stupid or blind. Either way, with guards like these, who needs enemies? Eventually, she puts sugar in her tea, and when she drinks it, I go and hide in a room next to the toilet, then drown her when she comes in. I hide her body, then escape on a boat. So with the first Silent Assassin of Hitman 2 out the way, I swiftly move on to my next 2 targets. Robert Knox, a billionaire tech giant that makes weapons that have ended the lives of countless people, and his daughter Sierra. Her rap sheet isn't as bad as her dad's, but the bloodline needs to be destroyed to prevent any revenge scenarios in the future. So I head to Miami to deal with them accordingly. When I get there, I grab a sniper rifle from a van, then head to a bridge above the racetrack, knock out the race techs overseeing the race, and snipe Sierra as she comes towards me, causing her to crash. Then on my way to deal with Robbo, I have some fun with a tourist attraction, then open Florida Man's food stand, which causes old Robbie boy to come downstairs. It takes a while, so I spend a few minutes clearing the area of witnesses. And when he arrives, I use the eggnog in the suitcase trick again, which also poisons his guard. So after he wanders off, I shoot Rob in the neck, twice, steal some boat keys, and sail off into the horizon, marking the second Silent Assassin of this campaign, and the 8th in total. The next nefarious numpties I have to eliminate are Rico Delgado, Jorge Franco, and Andrea Martinez. All 3 of them are drug cartel members, and for the icing on this shit cake, they also brown-nose a bunch of politicians to get more legal sway. And if there's one thing we don't tolerate round here, it's brown-nosing. So I'm off to Colombia to remove these villainous vagabonds from the food chain. First, I'm going to get rid of Andrea, so I hop the wall into her compound, climb into her office, and turn on the TV to cause a distraction. When a guard comes in to see what all the hullabaloo is, I cave his skull in, remove his body from the room, but leave his gun where it is to help me split Andrea up from her assistant, which works like a charm. When she leaves the room, I smack her assistant over the head, hide her in a bush, and now that Andrea is all alone, I pop a cap in the back of her head, then dump her into a river. Now that she's gone the way of the doornail, I climb a vine to get onto the grounds of the mansion, and this is where I really have to be careful. There are so many guards on the grounds of the property and members of staff inside, that getting through this without getting spotted took a lot of careful moving and planning. So after around 3 minutes of dodging and weaving in and out of people's line of sight, I managed to get to the first floor of the main building, then spend the next few minutes strategically knocking out a few guards so I can beeline for a specific destination, Delgado's office. I hide on his balcony, and when he comes in, I throw a knife at his head and hide him in the bathroom. I backtrack through the property, then run through the jungle like a savage to find a motherboard. Once I do, I make my way to where the sniffing sugar's made, fix the sugar machine, and wait outside for Jorge to inspect it. When he does, I shove him into it, then pick up his blood brick, and use it to smash a camera, which proved that he was more useful dead than he ever was alive. Then to show up the security of this place even more, I steal Delgado's car and just drive straight out the main gate, which awards me with my 9th Silent Assassin rating. Next on the dubious dickweed list is the Maelstrom, who is like someone you'd meet online, an anonymous twatbag who exists only to cause pain, Vanya Shah, a tyrannical leader who treats her people like scum, and Dawood Rangan, a famous Bollywood director. And like some famous people, he's involved in nefarious activities and is an egotistical neurotic sociopath. So I'm off to Mumbai to crack some skulls. The first lamb that's going to slaughter is Dawood, so I run straight to his skyscraper and climb up the lift shaft to get to the construction area. I spend a while knocking out the guards in the area, then tamper with these plug sockets and cause a spill. Then Dawood receives a shock of his life whilst patrolling the area. I hide his body, even though I didn't need to as it was an accident kill. Then I head to the junkyard to get rid of the Maelstrom. I shoot down a ladder, climb to the top of the hill, scale the building, and shoot the flag to summon Mr. Maelstrom. When he arrives, I head into the changing room and snap his neck while he's getting changed. Then hide his corpse, and scale the building again to grab this brick, because I forgot to pick it up earlier. I throw it into the flaming cauldron to summon Vanya to the area. Then when she shows up, I drop a boat on her head, which was very impressive. I swiftly make my escape, and now that Silent Assassin number 10 is complete, I move on to my next targets. Janus, a coffin dodger that most likely goes to his local Tesco when it's at its busiest, just to spend over an hour complaining to the poor retail worker manning the till. And if you're wondering if that scenario is so specific that it's definitely happened to me, yes, it has happened to me. This is personal. And Nolan Cassidy, the man in charge of Janus's security, and also has some severe mommy issues. That wasn't a joke, by the way. This man is messed up in the head. Once I arrive in Whittleton Creek, I head straight to Janus's house, climb up the guttering, sneak into his bedroom, and poison his oxygen supply. Then I wait inside his wardrobe to watch him take his last breath. After he pops his clogs, I wait around for the security to chill out, then head to the loft to grab some emetic poison. After this, I head to Nolan's base of operation and poison the fumigation machine. Then when he arrives, I turn it on, causing the whole house to turn into an aftermath of the Reading Festival. I drown Cassidy in the toilet, hide his body, grab the clues, then escape through the sewers, which marks the 11th Silent Assassin so far. My next targets are the Washington twins, spoiled socialites, and classist arseholes. Before we get started though, some context might be needed. Before I record a challenge run, I always do a practice run whilst I'm working on editing another video. For example, whilst I was working on the Spore video that I uploaded before this one, I was practicing this run in my free time, which is also why I do polls a video in advance. And I have to say that this level took me the longest to practice, around 4 hours in total, because I failed over and over again. In the end, I managed to find a way to do it, but it takes speed and absolute precision, which is quite fitting. As it's a last mission, I thought I would end it with a sniper assassin, Silent Assassin. My first kill is going to be Zoe Washington. I start by climbing the portcullis wall and make my way to the funeral area, then pass through to the entrance of the Wicker Man stage. I knock out a random pedestrian and place a gun down on the floor to get Zoe's guard to move away from her. Then when she comes over, I distract her, knock her out, then shoot her with my sniper rifle. Then after I hide her body, I have to race over to where Sophia is, because if I'm too late, then I'll miss my opportunity. I scale the side of the building, then I use a tranquilizer gun to knock both Sophia and her guard out. I drag her into a room, shoot her, then hide both their bodies, then escape by climbing down the cliff. And on the 12th Silent Assassin of Christmas, I beat Hitman 1 and 2 as Santa Claus. It was a shame I couldn't do the third one, but this was some festive fun to really get me into the holiday spirit. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe. If there's a specific game you want to see, or you just want to say hi, feel free to leave a comment. And I'll see you next time.